The mallards come across a troop of migrating ducks on their way south to Jamaica, which the family finds fascinating, but Mac bans them from joining. Pam tells Mac that he must open his eyes to the world around him. That night, Mac talks with his Uncle Dan, who is similarly hesitant to leave the pond. However, Uncle Dan causes Mac to reconsider his viewpoint, and he chooses to let his family travel, with Uncle Dan joining them at Gwen's request. However, shortly after takeoff, they are caught in a thunderstorm and seek refuge in a swamp beneath a boardwalk, where they meet Erin, an elderly great blue heron who invites them to her shack to spend the night with her and her husband, Harry. Despite their menacing demeanor, Erin demonstrates her good intentions by rescuing Dax and Gwen from a catfish. The mallards arrive in New York City the next day when Uncle Dan falls behind and gets the ducks into difficulty with a group of pigeons led by the pugnacious Chump, but Pam's fiery personality earns them Chump's favor. Chump introduces them to her friend, Delroy, a scarlet macaw from Jamaica who resides in a cage owned by a human cook. Mac and Pam sneak into the restaurant where the chef works to obtain a key to Delroy's cage to set him free. After dodging the humans, they obtain the key and release Delroy, who happily guides them to Jamaica. While Gwen takes a restroom break, Mac uncovers an entry to a paradise filled with pecans, but Dax soon discovers that the entire facility is a duck farm, and the chef from earlier is one of its patrons. Dax assists the pecans and his family in fleeing the farm, but he loses his wing feathers after being stepped on by the cook, rendering him flightless. The birds relax at a resort, where Mac chastises Dax for his reckless behavior. The chef locates the birds via helicopter and catches them in a net, while Dax and Gwen manage to escape. Inside, the chef intends to kill Mac and Pam first as vengeance, causing Pam to despair before Mac lifts her spirits. They try to hit a button to free the birds by performing a salsa dance they learned at the restaurant, but the chef stops them. Delroy eventually loses it at this point, and he, Uncle Dan, and the Pekins throw fruits and vegetables at the chef until he passes out. He then presses a button to have the chopper drop him out, trapping him in the net and trapping Pam and Mac inside their cage. Their children rescue and set them free. Dax has repaired his wings with feathers that he lost when the chef abducted the birds. Father and son make their silent peace. The birds, now headed by Dax, land in Jamaica, where Delroy meets up with his family and the mallards rejoin with the duck family who had previously visited their pond. As the family prepares to leave for home the next spring, Mac agrees to assist a troop of lost penguins who must reach the South Pole.